Well, I guess we're playing another game of Planetary Annihilation Gamma. So my name is Masterofroflness, if you guys don't know, and we're playing a 5-player free-for-all against, I guess, Strix, Gemini, Delta, Cherry the Pie, and Split Second Rarity. Alrighty then, so we're gonna spawn right over here, right next to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mexes for our little spawn, and then afterwards we're going to get this expansion over here, which has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah 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 blah, a ton of mexes, and then afterwards we can go get this expansion and just essentially become the Saudi Arabia of Planetary Annihilation, which all around seems like a pretty good deal for the most part. Here comes the commander, here comes the commander. Whoosh, brah. If that explosion doesn't look like Akira, I don't know what does. Oh wait, hold on a second. We need to start off with factories now because the commander builds, well, not builds, but generates a ton of metal and energy at the start, which allows for double factory plays to actually be effective. So let's go ahead and get out one vehicle factory, and I really don't want to, glitch out my mexes that are right next to me, but unfortunately I might have to. Alright, let's play around with the dice. Try to choose our own adventure, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and build some spinners really fast, and then afterwards get some fabrication vehicles. Right at the start. Spinners because, again, scouting is really important. I don't know why it's really important. I guess it's some kind of thing with the real-time strategy games. You have to know what your opponent's doing, otherwise you're going to get completely shreked. It's not like in chess where you can kind of, sort of, see what your opponent's doing based on the fact that it is chess. And it's a giant game board, so you can essentially tell whether or not your opponent is attacking you or not. I mean, unless you're blind, in which case, that'd be a pretty bad thing. Okay, so there's white over there, going with the two factories at the start. So roughly the same type of build is going on here. And I'm going with power plants for my commander right now, just so that I can get up a good amount of energy and try to build up a ton of mexes afterwards. Ooh, let us see what Red's doing. Yep, he's going with double factories. Oh, no, wait, he's not going double factories. He's going single factories. Interesting, interesting. So we got one guy who's doing double factories, and we got one guy who isn't doing double factories. That means the guy who is going to do double factories will be at an economic disadvantage at the start, due to the fact that he's spending more time producing units out of those factories and less time actually producing mexes and power plants, and then afterwards we'll be able to skyrocket out of control. Oh, T2 really fast. Okay, so I'm not going to get out spinners right now because none of these players are actually going spinners, so, well, not spinners, but bombies. So right now I think I'm all fine from air attacks, which is good. All I want to do right now is focus on getting my economy up to snuff. You guys can just help out those fabricators over there, and let's see. Do I want to go with an offensive right now against white? Maybe. A nice little slap in the booty. It would put white out of commission early on, but I think getting up some bots to do that would actually be the most effective way of teaching white a lesson. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get some ants currently. Getting some ants to back up my doxes would be a really good thing, because then I could overwhelm white's armies and afterwards maybe shrek him. I don't know. Oh, hello there, Purple. What are you doing here? Oh, Purple's literally right next door. He's like the neighbor who forgot to give me back my salt after I asked him politely to please give me back my salt, otherwise I'm going to shank his dog. White's still on 2 factories, so he's still roughly at the same production level as me. However, I will be able to outproduce him once I get out some factories right over here. Oh, the commander stopped building power plants. That is terrible. Continue building power plants for me. And let's also get some radar out. Okay, now if white continues to go on his little 2 power plant, well, not 2 power plant, his 2 factory deal, then we're going to be able to completely outproduce him. Ooh. Hello there. The army of white is advancing. So let me go ahead and get some turrets out. We can sort of try and micro way around white's attack. Infernos are a little bit more powerful than I assumed. Pull back a little bit and move forward and try to kill the ants. Commander, save us in our time of need. Yeah, we're gonna lose 2 of those factories. That kind of sucks, but great thing about Planetary Annihilation is you can always rebuild the same stuff that you lost. Oh wow, that tank really built. That tank really did a ton of damage for no good reason whatsoever, other than the fact that I just did some really poor micro. Alright, well, it's time to get back underway. You know what? We can build some turrets right over here to prevent ourselves from getting attacked by white yet again. And currently, green is fighting off against red, so that's good. Green's focusing on red, red's focusing on green. Awesome. It's like a married couple. And you know what? Purple's currently out of the game, so that means we're pretty much all set and ready to go in terms of being able to outproduce white and win this battle. So we're definitely not out of the cookie cutter yet, but in terms of being able to outproduce white, I think it's about to happen. Just have to be optimistic, that's all. Here he comes. Here they come now. Here they come. Feast your eyes on the army of doxes. Oh. Oh. Nope, I forgot to move back to fabricators fast enough. Well, that's okay. We have enough turrets to face off against this force and turn them into Swiss cheese. Feel my Swiss. I'm gonna go ahead and get out 1 combat fabber and then afterwards just get out doxes. Could also probably transition into T2 right about now. We have the eco to support it. We definitely have the eco to support it now. So vehicle factories would be pretty good. More vehicle factories. We definitely have enough eco now to support multiple vehicle factories. I just hope that we don't actually have a situation on our hands where green is just super powerful to the point where he's a god compared to us, because that would be pretty scary. Really, really scary, actually. I don't need no Thor to face off against, okay? It's all around my biggest fear. Alright, another radar going up over there would be nice, and then we can expand to the west. Our manifest destiny must be adhered to. And we can probably overwhelm White's forces here, especially since he's mostly producing infernos. Let's go ahead and move forward. Up, and there's the spinner. Either that or that was a pelter. That could be a pelter, actually. Whatever, we'll check behind door number 2, I guess. Combat Fabber, no, you're glitched. Oh, this is a sad time. Oh well. Good luck, my faithful companion. Good luck. Oh, let's pull the fuck back. Run! Run, I say! They have little fire things that can torch us alive. Now it's time to get out the infamous shellers. Oh, we lost the combat fabber. Well, that was his fault for going up into the front lines. Now, this is either a vanguard or this is either an ant. Okay, this is the ant. Never mind. Well, I don't see any tier 2 popping out of white, which means multiple things, like white's not focusing on tier 2, or white is currently getting the eco to support tier 2. Ah, it's getting eco. I guess that's good, you know, in the long run. But in the short-term battles of this game, especially early on, not really. Getting up some combat units would definitely be somewhat more favorable. Doesn't really matter though. Once we take out this tier 2, he's basically all done for. Alright, so Mex is over there. Mex is over here. Mex is everywhere. Yeah, he really needs a vanguard stat. So my shellers are currently destroying anything that pops out. His early game aggression with the Infernos was pretty damn good for the most part. But my eco was so good that I was able to basically rebuild the factories. Oh, here comes the vanguard. Unfortunately for him, He won't be able to use him. Goodbye. Oh. The last stand of white. Well, this is a really good tactic, actually, for the most part. Unfortunately for him, I know where his commander is. So he'll be able to do some damage, but not too much, especially since I'm going to pull back my shelters really quick. Oh, wow. Put the Vanguard really fast. That's good. Unfortunately for me, I actually don't have my radar out. Oh, now I do. Yeah, sorry, White. That was a good attack, but for the most part, without proper anti-sheller support, you're going to get toasted by these shellers that I'm sending out. Here comes the Akira explosion. God, that explosion always looks like either something from Dragon Ball Z or Akira. It's just super incredible. Tsudo! Oh, Canada! Okay, with that out of the way, advanced fabrication vehicles should be the first things that we try to get, and I guess continue on our economic advantage. Red might be dead, but I'm not sure. All I know right now is that we should group up most of my units together. We should probably go ahead and continue building power plants with our commander. Commander, keep building power plants. Go, 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 go. Fill up this entire area. Alright, now we have multiple options. We can take out... Ooh, there goes purple. That's going to open a whole bunch of can of worms, especially since now purple is gone, which means that green and red have essentially a free pass at expanding over to that area, which kind of sucks. So let me go ahead and get some tier 2 out. Does our radar cover this area? Yes, it does. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that really quick. Also getting these mexes and... Ooh, do we have tier 2 out? Tier 2 units? Yes, no? No, we don't. That sucks. Oh, finally we have the tier 2 fabricator. Okay, you. Advanced energy plants. Right now. So once we get out those advanced energy plants, it's basically all ogre from here on out. Since our economy is going to skyrocket out of control. Oh, shit. We don't have enough energy to support our radar. I could now attack red. In fact, I probably will attack red, since green is currently out of the game. Either because he got Shrek too hard by red, or he just gave up because red was too powerful. And he didn't want to spend, like, I don't know, 50 hours trying to beat one opponent. Oh no, Mama had a chicken, Mama had a cow. Dad was proud. He didn't care how. Alright, let's get vanguards over here, and I think for the most part, expansion to the eastern factions will enable us to secure victory. Oh wow, red left this entire right flank all exposed. Well, that ain't good, buddy boy, that ain't good. Fear the power of the shellers. Fear it. Yeah, we have so many shellers that they can actually just like completely one-shot his commander over here. There goes the Akira explosion. And he held up pretty well against green for the most part. I think I got a free pass at killing white because my right flank was completely free from attack since purple kind of AFK'd. Alright, well, time now to deal with green, actually. Come on, green. Don't you want to be friends, huh? Want to be friends? No. That's okay. We don't have to be friends. We can be enemies. Oh, crap. Red turned green into a third world country. Yeah, there's like no base here whatsoever. Oh, no. There's a base. There's indeed a base. And there goes his ants. Goodbye, friend. Goodbye. Here, another volley. Should take out all those infernos. Oh, there's a lot of infernos. Yeah, players like to go infernos. Well, that's okay, because we have the shellers to kill them all. No wonder why Red had trouble killing off most of Green. Because of all these Infernos, they're just basically the vanguards of his entire army. Not the vanguards that's in the unit, but the vanguards in terms of, like, you know, the actual function of, like, a specialized vanguard force in, like, I don't know, I guess a military. Hello there, Green's commander. Taste the power of shellers into your face. Whoa! My ant turned blue before he exploded. That's pretty damn sick, actually, for the most part. Alright, so you know what? I'm going to review this game real quick, because I want to see what the fuck was going on between Red and Green. There was like a Cold War going on. A struggle, if you would. Yeah, that's my stats. Oh, what? Whoa. Let me close this really quick. I would like to look at the replay. Thank you. Alright, so let's see the battle between me and White right now. Okay. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Everybody was kind of on par with one another. You know, we were setting up our commanders, going for the Goku blast. I was going for factory, and then White was going for factory. In general, the factory first build is the best build. And then the factory afterwards, because you have enough eco to support it. And the commander allows that to basically go about, which is awesome. Now, I went scouts first, and then I went fabricators. While I guess White didn't, he went fabricators and then scouts, which is, you know, pretty good. For the most part, it's just like, oh, do I want to get out intel really fast, or do I want to get out fabrication power really fast? That's a big question. Main issue with White is the fact that he didn't exactly focus his fabrication efforts on one building at a time, rather did multiple buildings at the same time. It might have actually lost a bit of resources here and there, but I don't know if that actually makes it much of a difference, actually, as White currently had a economic lead over me. I did rush out fabricators a little bit faster, though, by using my own fabricators to build me even more. And then he went military units really, really fast, actually. In fact, maybe that was a big mistake with White. Instead of continuing to build fabricators and increasing his fabrication power, he went for military units really fast, which is a good thing if you're going for a rush, but he never even rushed me. So he was just building up units willy-nilly, and he also got a T2 really fast without having enough eco to support it. Now, I was doing the same mistake as White. I was building multiple things at the same time while not really focusing on them. But eventually, I was able to rebound by building so much shit. I mean, as you can see, my commander was building a ton of power plants and mexes. So, in general, I was behind in resources, but it was getting a little bit better. However, I could have been a lot more proficient with my mechs production. Definitely could have. White did have an advantage over me in terms of mechs production, but I was catching up. While this was all going on, split second rarity was right next to Red, and Red currently had like only one factory, producing out a ton of ants really fast with his one factory. Mind you, he does see Green. He knows about Green. Okay, Red's not an idiot. Red can see. So I'm not sure why Red actually didn't get out a wall turret, or any walls for that matter. He got out almost nothing to defend against Green's inevitable early aggression. Green also wasn't producing anything from these factories at all, so it was very strange, actually. Now, I over here had a little bit of an advantage over White in terms of power production, which is pretty good for the most part. And I had more fabricators. In general, slowly and slowly, his advantage of the mexes was going to give out, because I just had more production advantage. And you know, we're still saying that Green isn't using most of his factories. Well, not most of his factories. He's not using this one. He's about to. He might use this one, but I'm not sure. But he's not using his fabricators as proficiently as he should. And Red's still speeding out ants, which is strange. Maybe he doesn't believe that turrets are all that useful. Now here's the attack that White did against me. A very effective attack. But I was able to counteract it eventually. And as you can see right now, I'm slowly and slowly bridging the gap between my resources and his. Here comes the attack from Green and Red. Red was able to make a good push, do a little bit of damage against the commander. However, he doesn't have enough production to support this. So, in general, though, Green will inevitably one day actually overwhelm Red's position, as he has more factories, and he's going to be producing a lot more units due to the fact that he has, I think, more resources than red. Yes, he does, a lot more. Well, not in terms of power production, but in terms of metal production. Right now, I get out my radar. White continues to build military units, ignoring the fabrication power. And honestly, he doesn't really have any factories at all. So in general, he's doing pretty poorly in terms of production. Really, really poorly. He should have gotten more factories way earlier, and also more fabricators. So over here comes another attack, but this is going to be completely pushed off. Green and red are still at it. Red is now wising up and getting more factories. Green has slowed down his factory production. In fact, he should really be using his commander to actually defend against this attack. One Uber cannon over here would destroy this army, and then if he pushes forward, he can kill off both of these factories and handicap red. So by this time, white almost has his tier 2 out, but his economic advantage has been completely negated. I actually have more energy than him, and I'll soon have more mexes. In fact, I do have more mexes. So there goes all the advantages that white had beforehand. And now I'll get out the tier 2, and I'll be able to use it a lot more effectively because I have more eco to support it. Here comes the green. Here comes the green. Into the laser tower. Here he goes again. Yeah, so green lost out on a golden opportunity to attack, and now red's setting up some defenses. And I think this is where we see probably the end of green, because he was just not able to use those advantages that he had to the best of his ability. Like, he could have expanded over here, over here, over here. In fact, that's also a big issue. He stopped expanding. He stopped using these 3 fabricators to expand down here, and have an even bigger advantage over green. I mean, over red. For the most part, if he continued to expand while red was attacking him, and continued to build power plants, he would have been able to overwhelm red's position, because he'll have more resources and be able to build more factories. In fact, same problem with white, just didn't have enough fabricators to do shit. So by this point, white has like almost no units whatsoever. He's trying to get out another tier 2 factory. This isn't going to work because I have a lot of tier 1 units, and he still doesn't have enough fabricators to produce shit. Immediately, he could have used these factories almost immediately after their construction in order to help out in this defense. But by this point, it was already too late. And now, red's building Hadrian's Wall currently, and will be able to block off any attack that green does. He already has a pelter set up. Green's pretty much toast at this point. The thing is that white didn't need this many resources in order to actually kill green. And green could have really destroyed white, not white, but red way earlier. I keep getting white and red mixed up. I'm not sure why. I have white on my mind. Let's put it like that. Maybe we're secret twin brothers sharing a symbiotic link through Planetary Annihilation Gamma. And long story short, green leaves the game. Yada yada yada. I come in with the Mongol horde and Shrek red. That's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.